Oh yeah, it's time for late night boxing talks. Extra late version. I just got in the house. Was out and about most of the day with the fam. Little field trip. You know what I mean? Doing this and that. And now we here. We are here. We are live. Justino, what it do? Roman, what it do? Ivo Castro Sports, what it do? What it do? Got an interesting fight tomorrow. Or today, depending on where in the world you are. Antonio, what it do? Jay Flint in the building. I want to give a special shout out to those who contributed to the Ring IQ Beer Fund, sponsoring a beer on you for me. I want to give a special shout out to my man, Rodolfo Lamas, Rodolfo, what it do? Carme, you already know. Shout out to Amil for the donation. Shout out to Raymond. Shout out to Anthony for the Cash App donation to the American Beer Fund, sponsoring a Dominican. I don't even know how to fucking do this shit. Hey, Carme, just remember, this is the month where Errol gets knocked out. Let me do this shit right. I gotta do this shit right. There it is. This is the month. Yeah, I mean, and we got Maxie Hughes versus George Kambosos tomorrow. It's not a fight that's being talked about that much, but it is a fight of some relevance because many would agree that George Kambosos is actually one of the more solid wins on Devin Haney's resume. So, you know, ideally, you want your victories to age well. And if George were to go in there and he were to lose tomorrow to Maxie, well, that doesn't speak. You know, obviously it's not good for George, but it's not good for Teofimo because, well, he lost to George. And it's not good for Devin because, well, George is supposed to be one of the more solid victories on his resume. So ideally, you want George to go in there to and perform. You want him to show that he is at least world class, capable of making it past the Maxie Hughes. Nothing against Maxie Hughes, but you know, George was a unified Ring Magazine and lineal champion, so there are expectations to be met. There's that. Sky Sports seems to be pushing for a Michaela Mayer, Caroline Dubois fight, and obviously it's a fight that I made a post about it earlier, and it got good traffic that people would be interested in seeing that fight. However, that's not a realistic fight. It's a very dangerous fight because Caroline has the look of a champion, has the look of a pound-for-pound fighter at only 22 years old. Michaela is out here for the big names. She want Terry, she want Katie, she want Chantel, she want Natasha. She ain't gonna fight Caroline Dubois, you know what I mean? So Sky would have to formulate an offer. Matter of fact, you know what, Carme? I see you, Carme. Jump on here and talk some shit. Talk some shit. Because if you don't, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk shit about Errol Spence. Something don't look right with Errol. Something don't look right. Robotic media workout yesterday. You know? Unbeknownst to most, Errol Spence's strength and conditioning coach, his nutritionist, I should say, shout out to my man, Fight to Be Fit, who also trains Bree Howling. Bree Howling, a regular sparring partner for Alicia Baumgartner, for those who don't know. And, he changed nutritionists for this fight, which I thought was peculiar because for those that don't know, Fight to Be Fit is also the nutritionist for Regis Prograis, and he does a very good job with him. He gets him to the weight, no issues. Country, what do you think it communicates that Errol, he's been using Fight to Be Fit for at least 2 to 3 fights, I want to say. At least two to three. What does it communicate to you that he decided to go in another direction? He's not using the same nutritions.
It communicates to me that he's nervous or a little worried because he knows that Fight to Be Fit ain't going to get him what he needs when it comes to facing Crawford. It's a much bigger, serious matter. Maybe I'm not saying he's afraid of Crawford or anything like that, but he knows this is a lot more serious and a lot more this is more big. It's more on the up and up. So he has to get as ready as he can in order to try to make the best he can. And he knows that deep down.
Ivo. Let me go to Ivo. Ivo, I mean, Fight to Be Fit worked with him in the past, and I think that they did a good job. They got him to the weights that he needed to make. What does it communicate that he wants to hire, that he did hire someone else? He did.
So I don't think this has anything to do with Crawford as much as it is. I think he had a bad fat camp because remember, he was not in shape a couple of months ago. When we think back to around the time of the Avanesian fight, right? That boy had a bubble gut. He was 6 months pregnant.
That's true.
6 months pregnant. So I think what this indicates is he went through a hell of a fat camp.
Leo, what do you think about it? Changing nutritionists. What does it tell you, if it tells you anything?
Well, the obvious, it needs a change. Now, why it needs a change? Look, this is not Marvin Hagler, not even fucking Gennady Golovkin. Those guys live a life of a fighter. And Errol Spence jumping out up and down in weight, I don't think, and let's be fair, Errol Spence has been campaigning as a welterweight for a long time.
Yes, sir.
So any other fighter with that kind of skills and prospects in his career, he should have been moving up maybe 2-3 years ago.
Absolutely.
So now it's time to make welterweight for the beginning times. So I don't think it's gonna be. It's not easy. If he is changing his nutritionist, it's because he's having problems to make weight. It has to be.
It has to be. I agree with that, and I know that many people wouldn't take it from me because they know who I'm backing, who I have been backing. So they wouldn't take it from me when I say that the only reason that you would swap out one nutritionist for the other is because you're struggling. Otherwise, why else would you do it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, gentlemen? If it ain't broke, if it's working, why would you change it?
Why would you?
It don't make, like I said, most won't want to take it from me because, they know that I'm backing Crawford. But it is a matter of fact that Errol Spence Jr., who has been using Fight to Be Fit Inc. up until this point as his nutritionist, he hired someone else. Chris, why would that be?
Because I don't think he had the faith in his other nutritionists. Because you got to remember, in some of those fights he was fading. Some of those fights he didn't look as strong. And I think, he understands the gravity of this fight because you've been lying on this man's name. You've been denigrating his career. And if you lose, you're not going to be able to handle that. I honestly believe that Errol Spence is not going to be able to handle a loss like Terence Crawford would. But I think Terence Crawford would rather die in the ring than lose to Errol Spence because Terence Crawford.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell?
Deed, now let me read the super chat. Deed says, ring rust plays a big factor, yet it's hardly brought up, likely referencing that the night of the fight, it will have been over a year's time since Errol fought. I mean, that's not encouraging. Do you really want to go? This is the biggest fight of Errol's career. It's not just Crawford. It's the biggest fight of Errol's career, too. Do you want to go into the biggest fight of your career having not fought in over a year?
Absolutely.
But think about it. If he would have fought Keith Thurman at 154, we would have been on his ass and said, well, he's not moving down. But at the end of the day, he had a chance to fight Keith Thurman at 47 too. But hey, at the end
Chris,
of the day,
let's
he did what he
cut the
did.
fucking crap. The Crawford fight fell apart late last year. So when that fell apart, if Keith Thurman was in the queue, then you should have fought the motherfucker last year. You see what I'm saying? When shit fell apart, Crawford fought David Amnesia. He fought David Amnesia, right? As soon as shit fell apart. Like, there it is. Like, I need to fight. I ain't gonna be out here and I don't fight. So where Errol, if they had Queefy in the queue, then y'all needed to do that last year so you could get the fight done this year.
You know, funny enough, you guys may not believe it. Hey, I think Keith could have hurt Errol. Here's why.
Nah.
No, hear me out. From Danny Garcia all the way down to Yordenis Ugas, that man's been hurt in every fight. And I'm not saying Keith Thurman cannot knock people out like he once did. I'm not taking it all the way back to the Quintana times. But
reach. That's a reach, Chris.
Think about it like this. He still has some speed and some snap on his punch.
What speed? What snap? He went 12 with Barrios. What snap, Chris?
Did you see Barrios' state of his face after that?
Bro, nah.
Think about it.
Nah,
no. Barrios' face didn't look like that against Tank Davis at all. He made Barrios look like the fucking Avatar guy. Come on.
Look.
You want to know the difference? The difference is Tank knocked him out.
Yeah.
I feel you. But at the end of the day, Tank had a rehydration clause on Barrios.
That's true.
Homeboy didn't, Ivo. But like I was saying is this. Ultimately, hey, they don't want to take any chances. Do I think Errol Spence?
Chris, you're not allowed to give Keith Thurman compliments on my show.
Okay, can I say
you're not
something?
allowed to give Keith Thurman plaudits on my show. No.
Can I say something? Because I think the reason why Errol Spence didn't fought Keith Thurman is exactly the reason that Spence gave. And the reason is he doesn't like Keith Thurman. If I wasn't in Errol Spence's shoes, I wouldn't fight that guy either, because that guy is just looking for a payday. He doesn't want to take a risk. And let's be honest, for me, I always have thought the same. All that crop of welterweights on the PBC are in a similar level. So in a good day, everyone can defeat the other guy.
Keith Thurman doesn't have good days. He doesn't have good years, bro.
No, I'm not talking about.
Hey, we're talking about a guy that only lost once, bro. Let's stop that.
Hear me out.
Wait. 4 years of inactivity in the last 6 years.
Okay, he got injured,
Chris,
but we're talking about a guy who only lost once.
Injured.
Stop that, bro.
Injured.
Like
this dude had a 2-year case of tennis elbow. Get out of here,
That's
bro.
funny as fuck, bro.
Get out of here, bro.
Jules, let's keep it a buck, though. If it was such an easy payday fight like Leo saying, they should have taken that fight. And I don't know why they did it. Because ultimately, let's look at it from this perspective. Keith Thurman had an easier time with Danny Garcia than fucking Errol Spence did. And that's a fact.
But Keith Thurman had an easier time with Sean Porter than Errol Spence did. So what you saying?
So at the end of the day, let's look at it from this perspective. Who's more preserved, Errol Spence or Keith Thurman?
Keith Thurman is Mr. Glass, bro. Did you see?
The nigga went through a fucking card. This motherfucker can't take no punishment.
Keith Thurman was Mr. Glass before Errol, bro. Remember when he was supposed to fight Sean? He got in a car accident. They postponed the fight. He said he had whiplash. Remember that?
Oh
And
yeah.
that's the only fight that he had that year. Then with Danny, only fight that he had that year, he has one fight, sits out for the following 2 years, bro. That is Mr.
He
Glass.
fights
All right,
Lopez.
cool. So at the end of the day, he should have fought Mr. Glass. What we're basically saying is this. I agree with you because the Spence that may come into the ring against Spence-Crawford might just get blasted out within 3 to 4 rounds due to
Karma. You heard that, Karma? Might get blasted out of there.
Yo,
in
let me-
one round.
Yo, let me keep it a buck with you. If Terence Crawford does what I think he's supposed to do, it's Felix Diaz too, bro. And it's gonna be ugly.
I'm
It's going to be
chilling.
ugly.
Listen, Chris, Avo, Country League. I'm chilling. I
I'm
see
chilling
all these.
too, bro.
I see all these posts. They're like fake posts in order to elicit an argument or a counter argument. Bro, ain't nothing to argue about. The fight is made, bro. And
Yeah, there's no point of talking about the hypotheticals. Like, what's
It ain't.
what's the point of talking about whose resume is better when the fight's 7 days out?
yo,
Yeah.
that's what's crazy. That to me, when I hear Derek this close to the fight, I hear Derek talking about resumes. I hear Errol talking about resume. I'm like, what? Like, you trying to psych yourself up or something, bro? You about to fight that man, bro. It ain't gonna matter in a little bit.
He's scared. He's shitting himself.
I tell you.
Yeah. No,
If me and Chris, think about it. If let's say me and Chris, we about to get down tomorrow at the Barclays, right? 12 rounds of action, right? If I'm sitting here talking about Chris' resume on Friday, how I look? How I look?
You look pretty bad, man.
We have the great Carme in the building. Karma.
Come
I hope we
Oh,
can
Lord,
stay
there she
friends.
is.
I
Karma,
hope we
welcome
can stay
aboard.
friends because your boy is about to get flat line. He is
I'm
like,
so sorry.
Yo, he was getting pieced up by Derek James in the fucking media workout. He got caught with a left hook.
no, Karma, don't bullshit me. Your
Karma?
confidence, but Karma's not a regular on the panel, so
I like you guys' wishful thinking, but I'm so sorry. That's not going to happen.
Karma, you better hope he don't start looking for his mouthpiece, okay?
That's the
'Cause he's
up.
done
That's
it
not even
twice.
the first time he did that, neither. Listen,
He
what
got
is
it.
your confidence level, Karma, right now? A
Terence
week ahead of the
gonna beat
fight.
your man to death. I feel for
What is your confidence level in?
It is 100%.
Damn.
You gotta say that. You gotta say that.
I'm sure you guys, I'm just letting you guys know. I put that video up. I'm just letting you guys know we're still going to be friends
Yes.
after your boy gets knocked out.
He's not getting knocked out, Karma. He's gonna get.
He's
I'm
getting
telling you,
stopped. He's getting stopped.
Spence is going to
No,
get
he's
the
not,
worst
Karma.
beating of his
You're
life.
just-
Ring
no,
IQ,
no,
Ring
no.
IQ, and the panel will be here through this difficult time that you about to have because it's gonna be
I'm
difficult.
going to be there. I'm going to actually be there live.
Yep.
And if you guys are doing a stream, I will join and give you guys footage of your guy on the ground. Okay?
Well, I have a question. Let me ask you a question. But if your boy gets knocked out, are you going to be on the panel?
I will come and eat crow. I'm not-
Okay.
All right. Well, so
Get
long as
it.
you're
Get your
consistent.
knife and fork ready, girl.
However, that's not gonna happen.
I tell you. Now look, that aside, because that's dominating the conversation right now. But another thing that I want to share with all of you is the Fury thing. You know, Sporting Icons made a video, and it's a great video. I think everybody should watch it. That all this time, you know, with the AJ shit and the Usyk shit, in reality, it was always Fury's intention to fight Ngannou. Because remember, after the white fight, who did he call in the ring?
Ngannou.
Bang. And we didn't take it seriously because we like, nah, come on, B. He not going to do that. Like, you can't fight Ngannou, bro. You got to fight Usyk, bro. Right?
Yo, you think about it like this. Sorry to cut you off, Jules. This man ducked Anthony Joshua when Joshua was at the peak of his powers. Why do you think this man was going to fight a tough contender? Let's really keep it a buck. When he was supposed to fight Klitschko the second time, what did he do? talk this mental illness shit, do a whole bunch of cocaine, get 300 pounds, right? Boom, he comes back. Calculated risk. And mind you, that calculated risk was beating up on him. Let's really keep it a buck. These fights.
No, let's not. It's a special occasion. We got Karma in the building. Karma, your thoughts on Luke Fury? You know I don't like him. I can't stand that motherfucker. I really can't. What's your thoughts? Do you feel that he's gonna come around and fight Usyk? Because the panel, everybody know what we think. What do you think?
No, he's never gonna fight Usyk because Usyk's gonna give him that first L. That's why he's dodging it.
Exactly. Karma. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on the things that matter. Fury's never gonna fight that man, fellas. Like y'all know, I've been saying it that bro, that fight is not undisputed, is dead, bro. We gotta wait till the next era.
Let me tell you this, bro. I remember when Tyson Fury said this about Anthony Joshua when he was an amateur. That dude was fucking me up in the ring. That dude was beating me up, yada, yada, yada. That's a prospect to watch. You remember that, right, guys?
Listen.
But hear me out. I just want you to walk with me. When he had a chance to come back and fight Anthony Joshua on Matchroom, what did he do, guys? He turned down that.
Wilder.
He fought Wilder. And think about it. You know how overrated those wins are against Wilder?
What do you hear me say all the time? That everything that they say about Fury is not based on Klitschko, it's not based on Hammer, it's not based on Chisora. All it's based on is him beating Wilder, which, and you know how I feel about Wilder. They're like, yo, y'all was two guys in a bubble. Y'all's just in a bubble.
But think about it like this. The cherry pick that he chose in Deontay Wilder knocked him down 2 of the 3 fights and gave him severe punishment. So at the end of the day, imagine him fighting AJ and AJ doing the same thing to him in sparring now in the ring. For real. And mind you, who's more technical? Deontay Wilder or AJ? AJ. And who was more ruthless at that time? AJ. Let's keep it up.
You talking about a dude that is, it's been a disguise. And I've looked at it that way for a long time because I noticed that they let him get away with things that they would not let nobody else get away with. Before Cunningham knocked you down, Pipe Chick knocked you down. You see what I mean? Before any controversy with anyone, you robbed John McDermott. That's in the papers. I ain't making that up. Go look at it.
Went
life or death. Now let me finish. You went life or death with John McDermott. So the 180 doesn't really happen for Fury until 2019, 2020 when he beats Wilder. Then all of a sudden, it's the same as the Joe Joyce shit. When Joe Joyce knocked out Joseph Parker, they thought this motherfucker was an asteroid. Like, yo, chill, fam. It's Joseph Parker, the most polite. It's the most polite heavyweight in the division. Chill. Nah, he beats everything. He top 5. And then with Fury, it's just a longer version of that. That cool, you beat Wilder, cool, but you knew what you was doing. You knew why you went that route instead of that AJ route. AJ would have got you more money than Wilder, more belts than Wilder, but you went after Wilder. You're not gonna tell me it's because you was on some brave shit. Get out of here, bro. Exactly what you was doing. Here we are. He's not gonna fight. He's not gonna fight, and I'm telling y'all, believe me when I say this, he's done fighting in competitive fights. That portion of his career, that's finito. That is over.
Well, technically speaking, it's been finito.
Barring if Daniel Dubois wins.
Chisora.
No, because think about the succession, Ivo. Fucking Chisora, Ngannou. Does this seem like a guy that wants to work hard for his money?
No, bro, but think about it like this. If Daniel Dubois find a way to win, which is highly unlikely, he's fighting Dubois, then he's going
but that's like I ain't even gonna say I do think that if Danny win, Frank could do that in-house and then Fury would come back, you know? But who got Danny winning? Karma, you got Danny beating Usyk?
Absolutely not. He's damaged goods right now.
Who on planet Earth besides Dev Sani and Daniel Dubois' mother have him winning that fight.
I know a way he's gonna win, and I'm not even joking. I see how he's gonna win. He makes it to the 12th round, and it's a Frank Warren show.
It's not a Frank Warren show.
It's not.
Yeah,
No.
Isn't this done?
No,
By
let me break it down. See, let me do my thing. One, Frank lost the purse bid to K2. It's not a Frank Warren show. What they did was they sold the UK rights to Frank for a fee. That okay, you want to show our fight on your platform? That's going to cost you X amount of dollars. It is not a Frank Warren show.
Oh, then any probability is out the window. I really did think it was a Frank Warren show.
No, yeah, I don't blame you because the UK rights went to Frank, the US rights went to Top Rank, but that's likely, and I said this when they won the rights, when K2 Promotions won the rights, I said what they're gonna do is they're gonna flip it and they're gonna get more money now. They're gonna sell the rights to Frank because it involves Daniel Dubois, and maybe if they're lucky, they could get something out of Top Rank too to show the fight in America. But it's not their fight. It's not their rodeo. This is a K2 promotion.
And I hope Usyk beats the shit out of him worse than what Lorena was doing to him, because ultimately what Frank, Tyson, and Bob did, that's some whole ass shit. You stop undisputed in every turn. Like, I've never seen some shit like this in my life, bro. Literally. For everybody on that side, from America until fucking this cancer named Luke Fury, is stopped fucking undisputed. Not once, not twice, not three, like probably 5 times they stopped undisputed. Ain't that some shit? Like, yeah, literally, like think about it. No other era has ever stopped undisputed that much. Like, literally, were they scared of Matchroom that much that they said, like, no, under no circumstances Anthony Joshua cannot get these belts, or Alexander Usyk cannot get these belts? What type of whole shit is this?
George says, I actually miss Wilder's reign. Fury is a cancer. It wasn't no better with Wilder than it is with Fury, to be real, because he's the original guy that blocked Undisputed. When Vladimir wanted to unify with Stavern, he said he would be willing to pay Wilder to step aside. Bear in mind, Wilder was not Vladimir's mandatory. He was Stavern's mandatory. But because Vladimir wanted to fight for Undisputed, now that his brother had retired and the WBC title was available to fight for, obviously he wasn't going to fight his brother. He wanted to win it from Stavern, and he was willing to pay Wilder, who was making peanuts on a dollar at the time. This man wasn't making no money. Nobody even knew who this man was. Vlad was willing to pay him to step aside. Like, listen, let me fight Stavern. And I tell you how that's blocking Undisputed. You should have let him do that. But if you would have let him do that, you know what that means.
You're not winning the title.
You're not winning the title, because then that would mean you got to fight him. And we know Shelly didn't want you to fight him. We said.
Remember what they said,
shit, bro.
He's like, a baby champion.
It's a baby.
Let me tell you something. If Deontay Wilder would have somehow miraculously slumped Vladimir Klitschko, that's the second highest upset after Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, because I ain't gonna hold you. Deontay Wilder did not have a fucking shot in hell to beat Klitschko at all.
Nah, but but what fucks it up for Wilder is you let other people come in and do things. You feel me? You let Fury get to that man when you could have got to that man, and you let AJ become a unified champion when you could have became a unified champion. So all the things that was necessary for Wilder to become a big name unto himself without anybody's help, without a Fury fight, without just none of that, right? Without none of that. You skipped all of that. That's why them guys ended up having a name. Fury ended up having a name because he beat Vlad. AJ ended up having a name because he unified 3 belts. You ain't unified shit. He did that in 3-4 years. You was already around for 7 before you even fought for a belt. 10 by the time AJ come into it.
I gotta ask you a question. Who started their career first, Wilder or Fury?
Wilder. 2008.
That's fucking.
2008, 2009, around that.
You know how embarrassing that is, bro? Do you not know how fucking embarrassing that is? Literally, you fight 30 fucking kids, cream
Say.
puffs, bro. You literally get almost knocked out cold by Errol Spence, and literally your best win is a fucking guy that.
So it's all sucker shit. Now listen, we got Julio on the panel. Julio,
What's up, Julio?
you know, Spence and Crawford, you know how I feel about it, bro. Have you had any epiphanies, any moments of clarity that will upset my good friend Karma? Because she's hoping that Spence win, but I don't see it.
I just think Crawford's gonna. He's never fought, like, Errol's never fought a counter puncher who can fight on his back foot. I feel like he's gonna get confused at all. Like, all that pressure shit is gonna be for no reason, because Terrence is just gonna take a step back and he has a reach advantage, and he's just gonna counter him to death. And I feel like maybe towards the end of the fight, like, it'll be cagey in like the first half of the fight, but towards the end of the fight, like, you'll see like Crawford just landing the cleaner, heavier shots. But I'm not sure he'll stop him, but I'm picking Crawford by decision for sure.
I think Crawford is going to be the sharpest he's ever been. And I really think this is going to be Felix Diaz too. Like, I've never been this confident in a fight before. Should I have at least a little bit of like worry, bro? Because I feel Crawford going fuck him up.
Like, I'm so confident that I'm like paranoid. Like, there's like something has to go wrong. Cause like I just don't see like what the fuck Errol's gonna do. Like, I guess the only real like X factor is this jab, but like, cause like Crawford's never really fought a southpaw with a good volume jab. But I mean, like, he's a master.
Like Phoenix and Gladiator.
He's a master at taking the jab away. So I don't know.
Let me say this, Julio. Let me say this. The only time that I have been this convinced in recent memory of the outcome of a fight, which was impending doom, was Fury versus Wilder 3. You know, there were still people holding out hope that Wilder could find a knockout, that Wilder could do this and Wilder could do that.
You almost did, though. Let's keep it a buck. You almost did.
Yeah, you almost did, but almost doesn't count. My pick was Fury to fuck you up, and that's what Fury did. He fucked you up.
Fury's overrated, bro.
All that shit in between is all that shit in between. So when I look at Bud, chill, fam. When I look at Bud and Spence, it's like everything is against you. It kind of is karma. It kind of is.
Kind of is.
He ain't fought in a year, man.
But this is what I think.
And
I think the only way Spencer went. You can speak, Karma. My bad.
Bud had a glorified sparring session his last fight, so
That's more than Spence had.
Yo, let me tell you something. The only way Spence wins, Spence has to become Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator and stab fucking this dude in the stomach before they come out. That's the only way this nigga go win.
Now, real talk, the only way he wins if Terrence just sits in the pocket and just tries to fight like that. But since when the fuck does he really do that? Like, he's so good at countering on his back foot that, like, I don't think it'll even like come to that. Like, why would he? Unless, like, the only way I see Errol winning is if Terrence obliges an inside fight. Like, if Errol tries to get on the inside and then Terrence agrees to it and just agrees to an inside fight, like a gentleman's agreement, then I don't know. But
let's keep something real quick though. And I'm a Bud fan, okay? But I don't hate Spence. But here's one thing: Terrence once in a great while tends to get caught a little bit and he's been dropped one or two times, but each time he's gotten back up and beaten the person who's dropped him. So that's something that he will have to be careful with, because, you know, I mean,
listen.
But
Errol didn't drop Mikey. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and Mikey been dropped before, by the way. So let's just cut the fucking crap.
I'm spitting facts.
Well, Terrence has never been dropped officially. There was that, like, it was like a knockdown against Mean Machine. But listen, here's the thing though. Listen. People talk about the Mean Machine fight. Well, hold on. Listen. People like to bring up the Mean Machine fight, right? Bro, go watch that fight after the first 4 rounds. He starts fucking the shit out of that. Well, pause. He starts fucking that dude up really badly.
Listen, all I'm saying is Errol's power. Errol's power is accumulative. The damage he does is accumulative. He's not a one-punch knockdown guy. He never was, even before the car accident. He's not that. He beat you up. That's what he do. At his very best, he'll beat you up. But he's not a guy that he connect and you go out, because really the Uga stoppage, for example, Yeah, he stopped Ugas. Credit to him, whatever. But Ugas was stopped on his feet. He was stopped on his feet. Mikey didn't even touch the canvas, and he was a fat.
You're right.
Danny didn't touch the canvas either.
He didn't touch the canvas, bro. And it's not that he ain't been knocked out before, because he has. Rocky Martinez knocked him down at 126, I think it was. So he has been knocked down before. But Big Bad Errol, Karma, Big Bad Errol, could not dispatch the Butterball. So he ain't dispatching my guy from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. No, ma'am. Crawford.
Bro, if the fight goes to the cards, they're gonna fuck Crawford. That's 100%.
Probably, yeah.
Knock him down to win a decision.
But also, like, Errol lunges, man. He does that weird shit where he'll like overextend himself on a power shot, and he'll like do like a weird, almost like what Caleb Plant does, where he'll do like this weird, like overextended slip to get out the way. Like, I just see Terrence just like with the reach advantage, which a lot of people forget. Like, he does have the reach advantage in this fight. I just see him clipping him with like one of those short, like pull uppercuts that he throws all the time. But we'll see.
Spence is going to look really good probably through the first 3 or 4 rounds, but his problem, he's robotic, and he tends to throw the same punches, tends to do the same thing. And if you watch Bud Crawford fights, he figures out opponents, and he finds a way to use those strengths against the guys, and that's why you're seeing you see him knocking dudes out 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th round.
Look,
Botex says, Julius, reminder, if Errol Spence wins, you've got a flash on live.
Why you want to see that, bro? Why you want to see that?
No.
Listen, man, the fact that you reminded me of that means that you remembered when I forgot. Because I fucking
Why do you want to
forgot.
see that? That's the better question. Why do you want to see that? For real.
Good fucking question. It's a good
I
fucking
know, man.
question.
There's something wrong with that.
Ray Sanders says Spence hit Porter with a perfect KO shot as Porter was turning into the punch, and Spence barely made his glove touch the canvas. Yeah, that was a flash. It was a flash knockdown. It was a good knockdown, but if I'm being real, if I'm take the trolling away, just no trolling, just looking at the fight, Spence is not a one-hitter quitter guy. He's not a Julian Jackson. He's like, he don't have that. It's a lot of guys that don't have that, so I'm not holding it against him. I'm just saying that when Spence gets you out of there, right, it's because he been beating you up for a couple of rounds. You know, now you think about guys like, he didn't knock out Danny, right? Danny Garcia. But you see what I mean? It's like, yo, he was fucking him up, though. Like, he was outworking him. He's fucking him up. Shit is, Danny ain't got feet. He got counters. He got a chin, but he ain't got feet.
That's exactly, like, people forget, like, yeah, he beats guys up because, like, certain guys, like, stand in front of him. Like, Danny, he has to, even though he's a counter puncher, Ugas, same thing. They have to plant their feet to throw the counter. Like, Terrence doesn't. He literally does it on the fly, in between punches.
Toes.
In between punches, like, if you throw punches at him, he'll counter you in between those punches. Like, he does, like, a lot of high-level bold shit that people really don't appreciate. Like, there was one time in the Sean Porter fight, and I think Boxing Gems, like, did a video on it. Like, Sean Porter has his, like, lead hand just hanging out there, and Terrence just says, fuck you, and, like, paws at it and counters him, like, right over the top. Like, shit like that you really don't see a lot in, like, world title fights. But, yeah, I just see him, like, unless Errol can get on the inside, like, all 12 rounds, I don't know. I don't see how he wins.
Hey,
listen.
Hey, Jules, throw the link, man. Rachel Nonito are in the chat. Throw the link.
Hold on, fam. Base the Kid says he's gonna go to Dallas to console Karma when Bud fries that fish.
Can somebody tell me why?
I can buy you
Danny
dinner
Garcia
if
better
Errol
of a
loses.
counter puncher than Terrence Crawford? Is Danny Garcia a better counter puncher than Terrence Crawford?
My world famous lasagna if you come to Dallas.
Listen, I'm just telling you that Errol, look, Bomax said it, right? Bomax said it, but nobody's gonna take it coming from him. And I did a video on it earlier that what Bomax said is true. The media is the reason that he's talked about in this way. They put him on a pound for pound list in 2017. I remember Ring Magazine. They said, yeah, he ain't got a resume like that. He don't got a resume like that, but he passed the eye test. Well, wait a minute. If you saying he ain't got a fucking resume, then what the fuck he doing on a pound for pound list? What was he doing? You know, he was coming off the Brook win.
Exactly, but that's the thing with Errol. Like, it's always like I think he's a good fighter, but there's always narrative with him. Like, people like to pretend he has this crazy run at welterweight. Like, bro, it's mostly just guys coming up from 140, guys who are passing early, like Chris Algieri and shit, like 140 counters.
Peterson, like, are you
bro?
fucking kidding
okay,
me?
here's the thing. Like, Terrence gets no credit for dismantling Felix Diaz. Felix Diaz got robbed against Lamont Peterson.
Exactly.
Robbed. And people forget that. Like, Terrence's resume is pretty good if you actually watch boxing and not just, like, look at BoxRec. But, like, yeah, people like Leonard Bundu, like who's really fought?
Shit, bro. Name value shit, bro. Leonard Bundu's claim to fame is that Keefe couldn't knock him out. Remember that it was like, oh, Bundu is tough because he won 12 with Keefe. So when Errol come in and knock him out, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. In reality, Bundu hadn't even fought shit aside from Keefe, who beat him. He hadn't fought shit.
Wait, bro, like Danny Garcia, no wins, no notable wins at 147. He's considered a big name. Like, how? It's just name recognition. Like, Ugas, same thing. Ugas beat Pacquiao, but other than that, he didn't do shit. Hasn't done shit at 147, and he's almost 40 years old.
Hey, you know who beat Pacquiao before Ugas? Jeff Horn.
Jeff Horn. Terrence gets criticized for beating him.
They don't want to qualify it. It's that's why the arguing that I see online about it, I'm like, I am done, bro. I am finished. You could sit here splitting hairs about resumes all you want. As far as I'm concerned, none of that shit matters anymore.
Hey, I put it in your chat and I'm gonna say it again. It's been 5 years since this has been a conversation. We have our picks. We've already broken this shit down 100 million times over. At this point, you're just arguing just to make yourself feel better.
Well, you know, and there's guys like, I see Lord Vaughn, for example, right? Lord Vaughn is not happy. And I'm just giving it to you straight that Terrence said, look, that resume shit don't matter. But who you see a week out from the fight, man, his resume, like, yo, dog, it's just like I said.
Bro, week out, he's talking about the negotiations a week out, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Me and Chris, like, let's say me and Chris, we about to throw down at the Barclays Center tomorrow, right? And Chris doing his thing, and I'm sitting here talking to fight hype about Chris' resume.
Like, yo, what's gonna happen?
Talking about his resume, bro.
You getting led to the gallows. Think about it. You're getting led to the fucking gallows. He knows it. Like, he knows what Terrence Crawford about to do to him. He's never going to forget this shit, and it's going to ruin him for the rest of his fucking life.
I'm saying, like, you got the fight. You got Julio, right? About to fight Julio tomorrow, and you talking about Julio resume, bro? Why? Y'all about to fight tomorrow?
Yeah, and another thing, Julius, and people on the panel. I have the feeling after Errol Spence fight and Terrence Crawford fight is finished, and we have a result, many people are gonna be saying Errol Spence was damaged goods. Errol Spence was weight drained. He cannot make welterweight anymore. That's gonna be the excuse, and that may
and he had the rematch clause.
Yeah, that might be the case. But guess what? Terrence Crawford has been searching for this fight for 5 years. This is not the same fucking Fury that rejected the fight with AJ when AJ was undefeated, to later, after coming out of loss, searching for a fucking AJ fight. That's not the same. Terrence Crawford has been searching for this fight. I've been calling out Errol Spence, and the reason why didn't get this fight early, maybe a healthy Errol Spence, is because Errol Spence.
Because
bro, and that's what Bomac said. Hold on, real quick. That's what Bomac said, and I think what he's saying is valid. Is that they fucked up by waiting on Terrence, because now he's like grown into the division, bro. He's beating the shit out of people, and he has power in both hands now. Like, you let him grow into the division, and Errol's grown out of it. I think a lot of the reason he doesn't get a lot of knockouts because he loses that shit in the weight cut.
Bro, I think it's the same thing. I feel like the same reason that Devin's power, because remember, Devin used to get knockouts at lightweight.
I was the one who used to say this shit on the panel, and everybody said,
power is not light. Man, I've been said that shit. I said that shit before you was fucking born.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Like,
bro, he left his power. He left his power in the sauna suit.
We've been saying this. Once Devin goes up to 40, people are getting knocked out again.
I don't know about all that hot shit, bro. I don't know about all that. Who you gonna knock out, bro? Because he gonna knock out motherfuckers. Tell me who you gonna knock out.
All right, bro. We just got to see in the ring, man. But I think
all right. See, you talking that shit. If I ask you, Ike, then motherfucker, who you gonna knock out? Because I know you ain't knocking Prograis out.
Bro, any good southpaw, bro. Any good southpaw is gonna dismantle him. I like Devin. Like I don't want to. Like obviously, like I don't split hairs. Like fucking Loma got robbed, but like he's a good fighter for sure. But I just think that man, he has so many like
I don't
weaknesses.
see nobody up there that he knocked out. I don't see nobody that he knocked out.
He stopped Barboza. I'm like, you don't stop Barboza.
You scared out of here, bro. This dude.
Barboza's
nah. Yo, this dude couldn't knock out Linares. Get him, nah.
That's fucking crazy.
Talking about?
Think about it. Yo, the dude he knocked out, Abdullayev knocked out fucking Linares, and he couldn't knock him out.
Try to tell, like, Devin is a great young fighter, but he gonna knock what out, bro? Who? Ain't nobody up there. Ain't nobody up there to knock out, bro. Ain't nobody up there. Like, think about it. Even if you get him a guy, right, that is not a power guy, like, say, okay, get him Sandor. Bro, you not knocking out Sandor.
Teofimo box the shit. People don't want to fight Sandor at 140.
What the fuck would you, bro? He's a southpaw. He move lateral. He tricky as shit. Nah, I don't want to fight him, bro.
And he's slick too. Like that's annoying. Like he's a
Sandor the colonizer. That should be his nickname.
No, look, Devin. Like all jokes aside with Devin though. Like, listen, this is one guy who he will beat 1,000. I'm so confident about this. He would actually destroy Frank Martin. Devin would destroy Frank Martin if he decides to stay at 135 and fight him. At least I know that for a fact. Like he'll dismantle Frank Martin for sure.
I mean, I don't disagree with that one, but the premise for the debate is that Devin will move up to 40 and have power. Devin will move up to 140 and he'll have the power that we haven't been seeing at 135. And I'm like, maybe he'll feel better because he's not killing himself to make the weight. So maybe there will be that added benefit. But when you look at the landscape, what he's gonna knock out Barboza, Ramirez, Lopez?
Jules, I swear to God, I may be high on black tar heroin right now, but I swear to God, back in like 2018 or 2019, I saw Devin Haney knock out someone. I swear to God, I'm not high.
I did too. Realize that was 4 years ago. Yeah. All gone 7 years ago. Like, nah, son.
But here's the argument I would make. That was when he was comfortably making the weight. So maybe there is a precedence. I'm just saying, maybe I'm high on something.
So Ivo, so tell me, who at 140 do you think he knocks out?
The ghost of Ramirez.
Listen, Pat's
you know what?
Let me read the super chats. Let me read the super chats. Gotta roll with Spence on this one. According to Pat's Nation, Tony Boswell said much respect. Ring IQ in chat. Stopped in to showing some support. The like button. Appreciate you. I don't see nobody up there that he knocks out, man.
Base the kid, the GOAT. He knocks out Rolly Romero.
Nah. Bro, I think any good southpaw gets on the inside against Devin, like Devin's food. 1,000%.
Wait. The last time Devin Haney knocked out someone, it was the last time that Devin Haney has 2 functional kidneys.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Listen. I'm going to smoke a cigarette and understand. Devin is a good young fighter, but when you really look at 140, who is he gonna knock out? That's the question I'm gonna leave y'all with for the next 5 minutes.
You know what the better comparison would have been, Leo? You should have said the last time Devin Haney knocked someone out, Julia still had 2 good functioning lungs.
That's fucked up. Jesus Christ.
Hey, man. Look, man, I don't support smoking, man. That shit is disgusting.
But you support black tar heroin.
Hey, man. It's a way of living.
Nah, when you get that, black tar heroin is the way of living. I'd rather smoke cigarettes than
fentanyl is healthier than cigarettes. It's keto friendly.
You know what? Screw all that, man. It's all about free basic clear seal.
I cook my fentanyl in the air fryer. It's good for me.
I cook my fentanyl in the air fryer.
Free base clear seal, you'll be better off.
And I'm telling you, man, that methamphetamine, man, with that Fenty.
Nah, man. Just sniff some glue and some bleach, and you'll be good.
I got the Atkins meth.
I got the Atkins meth is fucking hilarious. This motherfucker said fentanyl is fucking keto friendly. This is a nasty man.
Hey, you can always snort banana peels.
I want to make one comparison, not even comparison, just one statement before you guys can continue talking about black tar heroin and meth. Look, I'll tell you why the Spence fans are so scared right now, and it's a good reason. Because if you're training with your trainer and he accidentally grazes your face and you have to go back to training on pads, that's a problem.
Yep, he pieced it with that left hook. And you know what's funny? Goodfellas Sports TV, shout out to my bro CJ. He put it in one of his shorts, and I saw it like, yo, bro. Terrence Crawford yesterday or the day before Spence's opening media workout, he was sharp. He didn't get touched by nothing, Bomac or Red. Bro. Or Esau through.
You could see his abs through his shirt. Pause, like dog shape.
Yo, bro, you can see his eyes. Like this, I ain't gonna hold you, Karma. When your man's getting beat to death, you better show that. You better show that Spence last days. You better show him.
I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you dinner if Errol wins.
Karma, I want you to show the world. When Bud Crawford is beating your mans to death, I don't want you to say, "Oh my God, fuck Bud Crawford." I want you to show us because you're gonna be there. I want you.
Why do I don't mean to cut you up, but like, why does Errol have so many fans? Like, go look at the betting odds. Like, why aren't they putting money on him?
You know the real reason I think this, and I'm just going to talk from a black perspective. So I think I have this unique perspective is like this. I think they see Al Haymon and Errol Spence as the people that made it against the establishment. And I think, they're punishing Terrence Crawford for not, rocking with Al Haymon. You know how people want you to rock with certain people, irrespective of anything. And I think, this is tribalism. And I've seen it in my community numerous times, like, oh, you rock with Bob Arum, you doing this, that, the third. You should have been with us. You should have never rocked out with this white dude. Not knowing that, this black guy is really using you guys for money like the white dude is doing it. So at the end of the day, what's the difference? What's the difference? You're getting mad at a guy that also, let's really keep it a buck here, has kept a majority of boxing stagnated. You got to look at it through his dealings with, certain sanctioning bodies have hauled up one division, namely 160. And people are looking at it like, yo, what are you doing for your fighters? Why are your fighters not able to buy a sandwich at a diner? Why are your fighters struggling to get money? Why are your fighters allegedly on a payment plan for purses that they should have gotten full after taxes? Like, what's going on here? But people are so brainwashed in my community. Like they say in the Bible, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And I can correlate it to everybody. Like, because ignorance is not bliss. And as you can see, people who rocked out with Al Haymon, like, oh my God, he's the black guy, he's this, that, the third, he's the new coming of fucking Don King. And as we can see, he's even worse than Don King, because even Don King fighters, they made a lot more money than this, and they were a lot more active. Let's really keep it a buck, bro.
Don King was a piece of shit. Like, why do people try to pretend like he wasn't?
Because people are dumb, Julio. People.
Listen. Check the shit. Right? Don King was a bad man that made great fights. At least he did that.
And he had his fighters active.
A lot of what we seeing, for example, if we got Javante and Ryan, that's not because of Al. If you really look at the Al side of shit, y'all made that shit difficult. Another motherfucker would have been like, nah, I'm not taking this dick in the booty deal. Y'all bugging. Y'all gonna catch weight me and rehydration clause me? Nah, fam, I'm good. I ain't doing that. Right? That fight happened because of Ryan. This fight with Crawford, who initiated the phone call? Crawford. Another motherfucker would have gave up after 4 or 5 years. Like, bro, this dude is not trying to fight.
Like even the Fury Wilder fights, like, bro, Al Heyman is so toxic. Nick Khan and fucking Shelly Finkel had to make that fight happen. And how he gets credit for it, but it wasn't him. It was the guy from WWE and Shelly Finkel. They had to get the deal done because Al Heyman's a fucking idiot.
Remember, too, Spence admitted on camera that his team wanted him to walk away, that he pretty much had to go against the grain to make this fight happen.
He literally said they wanted me to fight Thurman.
Stephen Fulton.
But I've seen people give him credit for that. If that fight is happening, look, he knew he blessed up and all of that. That's awesome. But that fight is happening because of Stephen Fulton, not Al Heyman. Al Heyman wanted Stephen to fight fucking Brandon Figueroa again. That's what Al wanted. That's what Showtime wanted. That was the plan they had. Have him fight that motherfucker, that fish face motherfucker again. Nobody want to see that shit. That shit happening because of Fulton. Now, Keith Thurman has some very interesting insights into this upcoming weekend. Not this weekend, the next one. Next weekend's fight. This is what he said, yo. Check the shit out. Fuck is good with my Wi-Fi.
It's hard to get into a discussion and not like Terrence Crawford. That's my opening statement. And I'm going to explain it. He brings speed. He brings agility, something that I believe Spence has never seen. I always said Spence has not seen an athletic boxer like Crawford or Thurman. Period.
Whatever.
It's not can he beat these guys? He's never seen them. So, once again, the boy's athletic. He's a switch hitter. Lefty, righty, lefty, righty. He can do what he wants when he wants. And that's the debate here. Can a solid fighter like Spence, who when you talk about him, there's not a lot to be said. He was an Olympian. He's dominated the welterweight division. He has great defense, a fantastic jab, and can work the body well. But when you stack these attributes, they only reach so high. As you continue to talk about Crawford, it seems like he has more. It's hard.
Trying to tell you, yo. Look,
That's
I
a fact.
don't like a lot of things that Keith Thurman says, but at the end of the day, that's the way I look at it. They're like, yo, Crawford has more tools than this man. It is what it is.
Oh, and then he can punch on his back foot, and he has pivots. Like, you can't just he's not gonna just stand in front of you. And look at the Sean Porter fight. Like, people like to say that Crawford's legs are gone. Go look at Sean Porter. Just like try and cut off the ring against that guy. It's almost impossible. Like, I really think that
the things they say have no basis in reality. Because if you're telling me that Terrence, whose legs are gone, was able to get hit with less than half the punches that Errol got hit with, bruh, it's like he literally got like Sean landed 2 times as many punches on Errol as he did on Terrence. 2 times. So if that's your idea of Terrence's legs being gone, I'll take it.
Hey,
I'll take it.
Look, let's stay. Look, his legs are gone. He's washed up. Let's stay. Spence's pinnacle. Nothing's wrong from fine. We'll see on the next Saturday. Because if he loses, I don't want to hear no excuses. Because
I don't want to hear
Crawford's
shit.
legs are gone. He was never that good. All right.
He's fragile, Ivo. He's fragile.
Yeah, he's ass, bro. Like this 2-time lineal undisputed champion. Like, no, he's ass. He was never good. Let's keep it that way.
Let
And
me
when he
tell you
beats
guys
Spence's
something.
ass,
Let me
I
tell
don't
you
wanna hear
guys
nothing.
something. As much as we would want nobody to have no excuses, the people that follow Errol Spence, they're not honorable people. They're not honorable men. Outside of Karma, who I view as honorable, those people aren't honorable. Those people are cornballs. Those are the people that you see in high school that swear they hot shit, but when they get to real life, them niggas are dick riders because they try to hold on to a level of, popularity they never had. You feel me? So at the end of the day, expect the excuses. Just be happy that Terrence Crawford won, and we were right in the ring where it really counted. You feel me? Because they're not people of honor at all. Just remember that.
Yeah, because while I was out and about today, I was just scrolling through the feed. I didn't participate a whole lot, but I just kept seeing the same kind of posts that this and I'm like, why y'all still arguing? The fight is a week from now. What is there to argue about? Just get your popcorn, man. Get your popcorn because it's gonna be something to see. I don't think personally, I struggle to see it going to the cards, Julio. I struggle because he's gonna counter. That's what I see. That after 3, 4 rounds, Errol going up the tempo. He's gonna step into his punches, try to throw more, try to go for it, and he gonna get caught. That's what I see. Could be late. I'll say I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 11, but I see him getting caught.
Yeah, I just see it like later on in the fight, and you see these types of fights when a pressure fighter fights a counterpuncher, like a good counterpuncher, like you just see them towards the end of the fight just start landing a lot cleaner shots consistently over and over and over again. Like that's how I see it happening. But I'm just giving Spence the benefit of the doubt that he's durable enough to not get knocked out. But we'll see.
I may be out of pocket, and I wholeheartedly accept this. I think round 7, Spence gets knocked out.
Maybe.
I'm being
I'm
honest.
gonna ask you guys this.
I definitely see him getting dropped, probably, or definitely getting his legs wobbled.
Do you think Crawford can outlead Spence? Meaning, if the fight starts, Crawford starts fast. Do you think Crawford can be on his front foot better than Spence? Because I think he can do that too.
I mean, I think he can, but it's chancy because, when you the one coming forward, you the one that's risking getting hit. Why do that when you already know what he going to do? You know it. We all know what Spence is going to do. We all know.
But think about it.
But I go back to Mean Machine because look, he cracked Crawford, I think in like the 3rd round. Bro, after that, Crawford starts walking him down and gave him the worst beating of his career. Like people don't really factor in the chance that Crawford just turns it up and starts beating Spence on the inside, or starts walking Spence down.
Because I think Crawford naturally is stronger than I think he's stronger than Spence. Let me really say what it is. I think he's stronger than Spence. I think he understands leverage better than Spence. And I think, he turns his punches over.
I'm from a wrestling background, bro.
Yeah. And I think
that's what everybody says about him. Like I think Virgil Hunter was talking about how his physical strength for someone his size is uncanny. And you can kind of tell he's got those big long pause, no homo. Like the Tommy Hearns type build where he has these giant appendages, and I feel like that's where he generates a lot of his physical strength.
And you mentioned Mean Machine, right? Like this is one thing I don't like people talking shit. Bro, people make it sound like Mean Machine was some fucking bum. Bro, he was an Olympian. His only loss was to Crawford and fucking Virgil. Yeah, 2-time Olympian. Like he wasn't some just some fucking gopnik.
Bro, he was knocking people out. He was knocking people out.
Here's the kicker. The same people that are giving Frank Martin consideration because Hadatunian was so good, right? It's the same people that'll tell you. It's the same people that'll Mean Machine was bum. He's bum. The same people that'll tell you Karen Chukatsian, right? His feet. Karen with the feet. The same people will tell you Mean Machine is bum.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, speaking of Chukatsian, listen, if Keith Thurman, if he still has his legs, I think he'll give Boots a really, really tough fight.
Yeah, but I don't think Keith has his legs, though. That I don't think. And I feel like Keith is in a place where all it'll really take to get him out is one good shot. That dude don't fight, bro. 3 years he's fought once. 3 years.
Keith is a gatekeeper at this point.
Keith Thurman's never gonna take that fight.
That's the other thing. What the fuck would you have to pay him to take that fight, bro?
Hey, Jules.
Listen, you'd have to get him a hair transplant. That's the only way to see that fight happening.
Let me explain what I was telling you before. The reason why Keith Thurman wants to fight Errol Spence now, and the reason why Errol Spence doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman, is because Errol Spence. Look, you wanted this to Danny Garcia. That should have been happened 3 years ago. And the reason Keith Thurman was ducking Errol Spence before, because he knew he was going to get knocked the fuck out. Yeah. But now, there is a chance that he maybe gets beat, but there is a chance that he goes to the distance. And that moral victory incentivized Keith Thurman to search for that fight. But fight one of these young lions? No way. He's not gonna do it.
No fucking way, bro. You would have to get him a hair transplant and $10 million. No way he fights Boots, bro. It don't happen. That's why I'm saying that if they make Thurman versus Ugas, and it looks like they're going to, it would probably be better if Ugas won, because I could actually see Ugas fighting Boots. But Thurman, forget it. Not in a million years he fights that guy. No way.
Well, realistically speaking, who does Thurman really have once these two move up?
You fuck around.
Vacant title, bro.
No.
Okay, vacant title, but okay, sorry for cutting you off, Leo. But look, vacant title, right? Most say what you will, like, who is you like? Regardless of some bum, like you fuck around, you might just get put on your ass by some bum.
Is he gonna fight some bum?
That's
wait.
So you think he's gonna pull a Jermel Charlo and sit on the belt for 2.5 years?
No. Fuck around. This guy wins a vacant title at welterweight after Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford vacates, and then he goes to fucking middleweight to fight Danny Garcia.
Exactly. The idea.
Thurman,
See,
Lara.
this is the thing that. Well, I don't think. Being honest with you, bro. Stylistically, if I was looking at that as a real boxing match, I would say yeah, Lara beats Danny. But because it's the PBC, I don't even know if that's a real fight.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you're preparing for the chicanery.
I'm saying, like, why are they trying so? Think about it. Why were they trying so hard to make this? For what? It can't be because of Lara, because we know he ain't worth no goddamn money. And it really can't just be because of Danny, because Danny don't really have no name value. People know him, but he ain't got like I'll say this. For all the shit we give Edgar Berlanga, he's in better with the Porter Rocks than Danny, by and large. So this
Bro, why? Why do people like him?
He has that
Puerto
New
Ricans
York
really, like-
he has that New York attitude, bro. Got the chains on, you know. I don't get it, but
Bro, they really come out for that guy.
I'm just saying that, but see, when you look at it, okay, like I said, the PBC obviously really wanted to make Lara versus Garcia, so much so they got Michael Zarafa to step aside. This effort that they're putting into that fight seems to me as an effort to put a belt in Danny's hands. Not because Danny is a draw, but because they want to feed him to someone. That's
Danny's
what
not
I think.
beating Arislandi Lara, bro. I don't know what anybody thinks.
Bro,
he's going to be taking left hand after. No, let's not even disrespect Lara.
What about Tim Zoo?
Like I said, off the styles, I was favoring Lara off of the styles. And then I thought about it, yo, why are they trying so hard to make Danny Garcia versus Lara? For what? What is so important about that fight?
Maybe they're trying to get into the Tim Zoo business and like feed Danny to Tim.
But it's also a loser go home match. Like whoever loses, they're not getting fights no more. They're not getting that 6, 7.
Bro, send them both home. Fuck.
Bro, I'm just saying I get this. I'm just saying I get the feeling that they want that BA. They want Danny to get that because they want to feed him to somebody. I just don't know who.
Yeah, I think because the PBC does this. Like they like squatting the belts. Like they'll just if they get a belt, they keep it all in house forever until like a mandatory guy takes it from them. But yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
So who's around there? Who's around there that it makes sense that I could see Danny end up fighting that guy. And I don't know, maybe it's Queefy. You know, the long anticipated, long awaited rematch at middleweight.
That'd be disgusting. Oh my!
Realistically speaking,
Jules, what if they just start feeding their guys to Tim to get paydays over there?
That's what I'm saying. Like I think they want to get into the Tim Zoo business.
The shit is that Tim about to get that BO. What? He about to get that BO. It's easy. Easy.
But look, and I don't think Tim's team want to fuck with BBC after what Jermel Charlo did.
That's another thing. You don't think it's sour grapes? Are like, yo, y'all motherfuckers was sitting there talking all this shit. Y'all done gave me a fight date. Y'all gave me reassurances so he could end up fighting Canelo?
Yeah, but let's be honest.
You messed up my last name pronunciation. Fuck you.
Y'all called me Tim Kazoo. Y'all called me Tim Kazoo on Showtime.
Well, I mean, you motherfuckers haven't once called his father by his right name, so it's not that bad.
Say what his right name is, because
It's not Costa. It's Kostya. It's Konstantinovic.
It's Kostya.
Kostya.
Cost
Kostya.
effective. Cost
Yo,
effective
listen,
zoo.
If I have another kid, I'm calling him Kostya. That's a tough ass name, bro. You can't even say shit. Imagine you in class, Kostya. Let
Costco.
motherfucker say shit.
Costco Zoo.
nigga called him Costco. Good lord. And now he's gonna.
Hey man, that dude 52
Koch.
beat our ass.
Only New Yorkers that get that reference. Ed Koch.
I get it. I know who that is, Julius.
But on some real shit, they trying to feed Danny to somebody. You gotta understand that at this point in Lara's career, right? Whatever
Lara's
he was
not
gonna
losing. He's not.
I have a feeling that the fix is in. It's not a fight. That's how I feel. It's not a fight. It's a fix.
not. It's a work. It's a work. And on another note, just New Yorkers are losing their legends. R.I.P. to Tony Bennett. Man.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Tony.
Yeah,
Bennett.
man, that sucks.
Nah, y'all heard
96
what
years,
happened to Gilly the kid? His son?
His son, man.
It's
yeah.
crazy. When they say the game don't love nobody and
It
the
does not.
streets don't love nobody, look no further. Because who put on for Philly like Gilly, B? Especially these days. Who put on
Nobody,
for Philly
bro.
like Gilly?
Real talk. Like, think about it. Who put on for Philly like Gilly? Real talk. And
Shit rhymed.
you know it's fucked up. You got niggas like Hassan Campbell coming through talking crazy shit about this motherfucker. Like, yo, Hassan, yo, cool. If there's a Nori door, cool, my nigga. We understand that. But come on, man. Like, keep that to your fucking self. Like, you don't come on this fucking internet knowing that this is a motherfucker who's cut from the same cloth as you and you violate like that's corny.
That's why all this shit, all this loyal ass shit, loyal to what, fam? The bricks and mortar, the concrete, suck my dick. I'm getting as far away from the motherfucking shit as I can. Because the streets don't love nobody. When did they?
Think about it like this: the Philadelphia Housing Authority, the New York City Housing Authority, they own those buildings, not you. You live in the projects because you know what? It's a project to see how fucking humans can interact under those fucking conditions and how they can survive and thrive under those conditions. They're looking at you as fucking lab animals, lab rats, and you want to kill niggas that look just like you?
I mean, there's a real uncomfortable conversation in there that needs to be had, but not by me, because the way things are now, it's so divisive and it's so divided now. Everything that conversation needs to happen within the community, and they need to have it amongst themselves. How much sense does it make to be shooting at each other? How much sense does that make, fam? What is that doing? What is that even about?
And let's really keep it a buck. The motherfuckers, like, let's think about it like this: these gang wars, right? Oh, it always goes back to your cousin shot my cousin, or somebody from my family got killed by one of your sides. Now everybody on both sides is not going to let it go. Now I bet you these young kids in their mind think, yo, this shit is stupid. This motherfucker ain't never do nothing to me. He acts just like me. We have similar interests. But just because he lives on a certain block and I live on a certain block, he's my op now? Like, yo, bro, what beef you have should not be inherited with me. But, like, think about it. It's like the East Coast, West Coast beef. People now start putting fuel to the fire, gas and all this foul-ass shit. Like, these motherfuckers is evil, man. Like, I think this is a dark cloud around the world, bro.
Let me say something.
Fucked up
One, Anthony Breland asks, how do you feel about Spence's jab? I think it's good, but I feel people overrate it. I keep hearing he's just going to jab and put pressure on Bud. I'm going to say that I don't think Errol's jab is all that, and the Brook fight is my example.
He's getting jabbed by Brook.
He's getting out jabbed by, while Brook had gas in the tank. If you go back and watch that fight, while Brook had gas in the tank, he was out jabbing Errol. On top of that, you look at the Sean Porter fight. Compare how Brook handled Sean to how Errol handled Sean. Brook was able to jab him and control him. And if he got past the jab, he'd hold him. Whereas Errol, you couldn't control him with your jab, so you had to sell out in the pocket. You couldn't keep him out. So
Exactly,
I don't
like-
think his jab is all that.
Like, I'm not trying to be a Errol hater, but bro, like people like act like this motherfucker's Larry Holmes or some shit. Like, it's a good jab, but it's just a volume jab.
I
He
think
just
it's
throws it a lot.
To me, it's
Like-
a textbook jab. Like if you look up jab, you'll see Errol. It's not a bad jab, so
But it's not accurate. Like, it's not like he's landing every single jab he throws. Like, Kell Brook had an amazing jab, and his was timing. Like, he'll time you. He doesn't have to like get in a range. He'll time you with it. With Errol, he just throws it a million times. That's it. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean it's good. But
I think you know the best jab in 147 was Errol. Oh no, not Errol Spence. Was Kell Brook. To be dead ass honest with you,
Well, 100%. Look what he did to Terrence. Yeah.
Out of that crop, if you think about it, with the exclusion of Floyd, obviously, right? Because Floyd was on his way out when this crop was really, on the rise and doing their thing. Sean don't really have much of a jab. He has a pressure fighter's jab where it's a flick jab.
It was better than fucking Spence's jab on the night.
Now, this is what I'm saying. You got Brook, Spence. Thurman is not a jabber, and he never was. He's not a jabber. You got Thurman, Spence, Brook, Porter. Out of all of them, the best jab is Brook. Out of all of them.
Yeah, but you got to understand something, Jules. You see, the Brook that Crawford fought was actually broken because he fought Spence first. We're not going to talk about the fact that Brook had got his orbital broken the last fight before Spence by triple. You don't talk about that.
That's like another thing, like another crazy narrative. Like, yeah, like the Kell Brook that fought Crawford and gave him a good fight while last was washed, even though he was coming off a 3-fight win streak, right? But the Kell Brook that got liquefied by Triple G went right back down after that. he went right back down to welterweight. Dude, Kell Brook didn't duck his mandatory. He went right back down to welterweight to fight Errol. He wasn't washed, but the one who was on a fucking win streak rejuvenated his career. He was washed. Like, come on, bro.
Don't
Like,
say anything, but look, the second that a guy brings up Mikey Garcia, did you see how he outboxed Mikey?
Smaller guy with
like,
smaller
bro,
arms.
Get out of here, B. You dunking on 5-year-olds out here, you fucking lame.
If I recall, didn't Kell Brook knock out Mark DeLuca with a jab?
Yeah.
Hey, can I drop something real quick? Just real quick. ProBox TV is starting a new Saturday night fight series. It's starting tomorrow, 8:00.
There we go.
Look, get that money, country. I'm starting to think they cutting you a check. The way he did that, let me find out you getting royalties and shit. You getting them pro box checks.
I wish I was, man.
You getting that Danny K money. You getting that Danny K money.
Should I sub the Pro Box? Should I sub?
Now listen. All jokes aside, I don't think Errol's jab is all that. But back to the Gilly shit, which I think deserves some conversation. I honestly think that's fucked up. It's Gilly, man. It's Gilly. You might as well be Gilly.
Can I say this? This is an uncomfortable thing people want to talk about. If you're a 7-8 figure person, why are you allowing your son to go back to those neighborhoods and be in that element?
But think about it. Your son is a grown ass man.
It don't fucking matter.
I know. But these motherfuckers is hard headed. I remember, I've been hard headed a majority of my life, but I grew up, and as a child, you do childish things. But when you grow up to become a man, you put those childish ways, and those childish deeds down. Stop that.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't trying to be fucked up, right? So I'm not gonna be fucked up. I'm gonna just say, if your son grew up with the same affinity for the streets that you had when you were young, well, that is your fault.
Yeah,
that is your fault.
That's the thing. Like I could feel two things can be true. I could feel bad for the family, fucked up the dude got his life take, but also it's like, bro, like that was your dad's life. That's not yours, bro. Like.
Your dad got some kind of money. He got some kind of money. Like
Ivo dropped off.
No, they got
dropped off,
bro. They got a 8-figure deal for their fucking show. Like
I'm just like
how
to
long
me.
Gilly been ghostwriting for?
Like
Well,
he
but
been
no, but
around.
that's a great point. Like, your son is supposed to outdo you. Like, that's the whole point of like parenthood, right? Is that your children go on to do better than you. Like, I hate to say
That,
it, but
like
yeah,
that quote. The only person that wants to see you do better than them is your father.
Yeah. And when I see that the kid was basically just trying to rap, because y'all know he was trying to rap and all that. Y'all know he was trying to rap.
Yeah.
He was a
It's
rapper,
like,
actually. He was a,
I mean, it ain't even. It's just that you had the avenue that your father didn't have. You don't need to rap. You are rapping because you have an affinity for this lifestyle, and that tells me that when you was young and they was talking to you, your family people and all of that, I guess either it didn't register, that they didn't try hard enough. They're like, yo, they should have been the ones to tell you that shit ain't what they say it is, man. Fuck that shit. Fuck the streets. Fuck Philly. Fuck Philly.
Yeah, Philly.
Because that's how Philly, I'm saying, like, if you gonna be real, like, be honest. Look, Poe got killed where? Where did Poe get killed, fellas?
Harlem.
Right?
homicide Harlem.
I'm trying to
Where did Nipsey Hussle get killed? Right in front of his hood at his store.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the shit, it's when you look at these young guys, these young music guys that's getting murked, right? All you hear people, if you say anything derogatory about the quote unquote culture, motherfuckers will try to eat you alive. But who's shooting these young men then? If the culture matters so much, who's killing these young men?
Motherfuckers of the
They
culture.
are each other, man.
Other young men that look just like them. So spare me the culture bullshit. Like I said, pack your shit and move as far away from shit as possible because the streets don't love nobody.
Can I ask you guys this question? Can I ask you guys this question, objectively speaking, about hip hop? Do you think hip hop is now become Arrested Development? Here's why.
Yes.
Thank you. You understand what
It's
I'm
easy. It's you know what the problem is? I'll tell you what the problem is, and it actually began in our era. It began in our era. It was a lot of mouthpieces that were funded by blood money, you know, a lot of guys who wasn't really living like that. And they made it cool to talk about shooting people. Art is self-expression, right? Art is self-expression. So when you talking about the things that you actually seen, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not gratuitous. You telling an actual story. But things got to the point to where violence is being glorified, where the worst aspects of people are being glorified. The worst of the worst shit. All you talking about is how you gonna murk somebody. For what?
Yeah,
For what?
and it stopped being an art. It stopped being art. It started being a product. Like, it started being a thing that they're selling to you rather than like any type of art, like artistic value from it.
But we go back to our era, Jules. We go back to when we're 8, 9, and we're hearing Cool G and all them cats. Them cats still was MCs. They still told a story.
But they also still told you the other side of the light.
That's exact. That was a
No, see, this is the thing. I'm not telling you can't sing about blowing somebody's face off, because that is the reality for a lot of young men being locked up. That's the reality for a lot of young men. If you sit there, you writing songs about your experiences, that's not, that's art. What's going on now is you literally selling that, though. You just selling the violence. It's kind of like Rocky 3. It's the best parallel I could use. The first 2 Rockies were not action movies. If you've seen them, those were dramas, the first 2. But they took what people liked, which was the violence, and they focused on that in the third. If you watch Rocky 1 and 2, it's very different from Rocky 3. Rocky 3, they got Hollywood, the camera different.
It's a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon, because they only took the parts that people liked it, that they liked the fighting and all that shit and the
they
training.
Didn't like the art of it. They didn't like the narrative.
Yeah, they ain't really care for the drama that much, but they liked the violence. So we're gonna repackage this as just the violence. It's like what happened to karate in California when it came over, that you getting a generic version of karate, you know, in the 60s and 70s when the karate dojo started. You know, it was a whole explosion of people in California their new karate. That's what Karate Kid is based
Yeah,
on.
it's like some 300-pound guy with a mullet telling you he can give you a black belt. Like,
Yeah, Sensei Robinson and shit, right? Or yoga. They took the religious aspect out of yoga. That yoga is supposed to be more than, putting your fucking ankle behind your head. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be more than that. I see that with rap in the sense that, you gonna take this shit, the bitches twerking and the drug money and the people getting shot. You're gonna take the artistry out of it. You're gonna repackage it and just make it gratuitous. You know what I mean? That's what happened to it. It's not art anymore. It's just a bunch of motherfuckers high off of different substances speaking into a mic. It ain't even music, bro.
Yeah, but
It's incoherent babble.
here's the thing. It's
like a Happy Meal that comes with a gun and like some lean.
it happens though in any form of anything. Like the moment that something becomes industrialized, it's no longer about the individualism. It's about packaged. It's about the
mass production.
Thank you. But it's more about the like. It's kind of like fitting a mold. Like for example, it's more of a mold to like what you can mass produce. This mold of this particular type that you can like. It's a blanket. Thank you. It's a blanket term. You get as many under the blanket as you possibly can. That's why most forms of musicians nowadays is just a generic blanket to get as many fans.
Yeah, like
as
you
possible.
see this, like when everybody started sounding the same when they was doing the soliloquy raps, they see something, especially the music industry. They'll see something that works and they'll just focus on that. Like, oh, so they really like that. So we just gonna keep doing that. We just gonna keep putting that sound out there. That's what's kind of going on with rap. Like, yo, I don't even really being real. I don't even listen to that shit no more because I'm like, that shit is garbage, yo. Like, yeah.
I listen to a certain era of rap. I don't listen to.
You gotta listen to Griselda.
Only Griselda in a certain.
I'm old enough now. Look, nostalgia's gonna make me go back to things that I grew up with, right? Right. But I'm too old. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you in the face and take you in the play. Man, suck my dick, man. Put some happy shit on. I want to hear some happy music.
My shit stays
bullshit.
My shit stays on the classical music station now.
And motherfucking the youth, see, it's bigger than anything that I could tell you. It honestly is. It's bigger than anything I could tell you. That if you got kids running around hearing that shit, their propensity for violence does increase. And you're gonna get people that know, hey, bro. You got kids running around talking about how they going, yeah, man, I'm gonna shoot you in the face, all the crazy shit. Hey, fam, it do something to you. Music could put you in a good mood. We know this. Music could put you in a good mood. You think it can't put you in a bad mood?
It has a big influence.
There's music for every mood. That's the thing. If you pissed off, you'll find some music that'll piss you off even more.
Music, like if you got kids that's 12 and 13 and they hearing about the drug money and flipping the birds and shooting you in the face and spitting your ramen noodles on 2/5, all this crazy shit, they gonna have a different. You would have to be a buffoon to think that's not affecting how they look at the world and what they want to be. A lot of shit that's going on.
They want the clout, Jules. They want the clout too, though. They want to be able to rap about that shit and do it better than the next dude that got caught up rapping about some shit he did.
Yeah, but the thing is, the funny part is right now, like a lot of the guys that are even making beats, I was talking to Nonito about this. The beats suck, and they're recycling a lot of the old beats because they can't even get something new for themselves. Like it's becoming so lazy. Like me and Nonito, like listening to the song, we're like, oh hell yeah, oh this is Genuine's like pony background, right? His music, and then like some dude comes on, I don't know whose music it is, but I'm like, what is he saying? Why is he ruining a classic?
They're sampling the sample. Like Prince, sorry to cut you off, Rachel, but Prince said this. You know, he saw the direction where the music was going. He said, I want people to learn how to play instruments and learn how to write music.
Yo, your mic is going crazy, Chris.
As far as like trying to ruin a classic, it's like when fighters try to use a shoulder roll. It's like when fighters try to use a shoulder roll in modern boxing.
Thank you,
hey, bro. You can't do that shit. That's not you.
Let Julio make his point. Go ahead, Julio.
Like that thing about ripping off the classics, like, and it's in film too, like with all the remakes and shit. It's like watching modern fighters try to do the shoulder roll. Like you're not Floyd. You can't just fucking go out there and do that shit just because you saw someone else do it.
And we talk about that all the time. That like because Floyd was so successful with that particular aspect, because Floyd actually had an alternating guard. When he would fight southpaws, he'd use a high guard. Most of the time, though, he'd fight orthodox fighters, fights out of the shell. And he popularized the shell, even though it was around for many. We all know lots of guys fought with the Philly shell. Floyd didn't invent that, obviously. But he
That's why it's called the
popularized
Philly. Like, come on.
Exactly. You know what I mean? James Toney used it. Bernard Hopkins used it. Nicolino Loche before them. It's been around, all right? Floyd didn't invent it. But he popularized it. So you kept getting this generic. After him, a lot of guys want to start using the shell. And it's not like, yo, you shouldn't even, you just use a high guard, bro, because you still getting hit over the top of your head, bro. Still got knots and whelps up here using that shell. Just cover up with a high guard. You're getting a lesser version of it.
Yeah, they're sampling it.
They sampling the Philly shell. They sampling it. Now with the music, it's like y'all don't have no ideas. All y'all taking is shit y'all heard and repackaging that shit. Y'all don't even have no ideas.
Yo, bro, they're sampling the sample, bro. Like hip hop is samples. Like you're sampling the sample. That's
Even
what
the
Prince was saying.
even the A&R stuff now.
That's like sticking a hot pocket in the microwave, reheating it, then letting it cool off, then putting it on the frying pan. Like, bro, what the fuck are you even doing, bro? What are you doing?
Did you hear that the song my 9-year-old produced?
No.
Oh my god, I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Send it to me.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna ping me your email on Twitter. I'll email you the thing.
I got you right now.
But
Julius,
basically, what I was trying to say, sorry. Is my mic bad or no?
No, now it's clear. It's clear now. It was breaking up before.
But I was just saying, basically, Prince said this. I want you guys to learn how to play instruments because it's skill in that. Because he said, yo, at one point in time, hip hop was sampling the sample. It's getting to the point that you're sampling the sample. It's like, yo, bro, that's not what music is. Music has ideas. It's creative. It's like, yo, they're the reason why people learn how to play instruments, how to write sheet music, how to read music, because ultimately it's a skill in that, and it's a spiritual thing. People forgot music is spiritual, and they perverted it so bad. Like, for example, your favorite, we want to realize why is R&B so bad, right? Because a lot of the R&B singers from back in the day were in the church. There was a soulfulness to it. Like, like Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, James Brown.
But also, I'm gonna say that if R&B is not now what it was, it is also because the times changed. These times is not those times. It's hard to describe, but it's like
the 90s kind of fucked up R&B with the new jack swing and the hip hop.
The 90s ain't fucked it up. The 2000s fucked it up.
No,
bro.
but here's why I say the 90s kind of fucked up R&B. R&B at one point in time had a specific, distinct sound, but now it like due to
it's just
how
rap
nice,
music now.
due to how nice the
90s R&B is classic shit, bro. I'm telling you, the 2000. You know what really killed R&B? The situationships. It's like it's hard. Hookup culture. There's no place for rhythm and blues in the era of hookup culture. It's just they don't mesh. Now in the 90s and all of that, it's different. But in this era of hookup culture and Tinder and Bumbler and all this other shit, ain't no room for rhythm and blues. Shit, a lot of these motherfuckers ain't got no rhythm. Like, these motherfuckers are strung out, bro. No place for that. I'm just telling you.
Yo, let's keep it a buck. These young kids don't even know what R&B really actually stands for.
That's tell you.
But the reason why I say the 90s was the genesis of why R&B is the way it is now. Think about it. Like R. Kelly featuring with Biggie, bro.
Like those were the first collaborations where you would have a R&B song, then there would be like rap on, like MJ on Jam, Dangerous, right? Those were R&B singers, and they were adding rappers onto it, and they would put it spit in their 16, which was
Yeah,
good.
but that
It was
didn't
good
kill it.
music.
That made it bigger.
But at
That
the end
didn't
of the
kill
day,
it.
they started to make it more hip hoppy as opposed to what R&B used to sound like. But you guys know what 70s and 80s R&B sounds like comparative to 90s R&B. And mind
I
you,
would say
love
no.
90s
I would
R&B.
say it evolved. It look the '90s. I feel that R&B actually peaked in the '90s. It
Nah,
peaked,
it
but
probably in the 70s.
the decline. No, was it more popular in the '70s than it was in the '90s?
Yes, the fuck it was.
You bugging,
Bro,
Here's
nah,
why.
but to me, like a lot of it just turned into rap music. Like, bro, go listen to Jack Quees. Like, he's just talking about eating pussy and auto tune. Like, it's not interesting.
Now let me tell you what. All right, for those that think that that's wrong, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter. I stroke it to the east. I stroke it to the, and that's not some new shit. That's fucking '70s, bro. All right. So it's not.
Carter's hilarious.
It's not that. I'm telling you what it really is the times changed. Interpersonal relationships changed. In this era of situationships, friends with benefits, all that weird new shit, right? That, to us old people, it's like, there's
Fuck
no
buddy.
room for rhythm and blues.
Jules,
in that
I don't
culture.
know, man. That stroking song by Clarence Carter may fit in perfectly today, man.
Shit,
real.
man, fuck around. Actually, see, this is the thing. One thing about R&B, right, is rhythm and blues. So there's like a romantic element, right? These drug addict motherfuckers ain't romantic.
But if you keep it a buck, rhythm and blues coming from where it originally was, it's a depressing art form. It's a lamenting
Because
art
you
form,
singing
bro.
about look, you either singing about heartbreak,
Or your
right?
bitch left you,
Right?
like something horrible happened to
It's
you.
not like that no more.
Wait a minute.
These
Wait a
motherfuckers,
minute.
listen, this era of guys is ashamed to like girls. Like there's no romance.
Bro, like the Sam
Wait a
Cooke
minute.
song.
Wait,
Bro,
wait,
Bring It
one
On Home
moment.
by
Wait
Sam
one
Cooke.
moment. Wait one
Bro,
moment. Blues, while it sounds depressing, not all of it is. There's happy blues. There's angry blues. There's a lot of different styles.
We're not talking about the subcategories.
Yeah, we talking about R&B. Like R&B is either about heartfelt or heartbreak or heartbreak.
Bro, Sam Cooke, Bring It On Home to Me, where he's like begging his like girl to come back to him. Like that shit doesn't fucking happen now. You're right. Like the songs like that don't exist anymore.
You know what happens? Howling Wolf, Backdoor Man, with some wild shit.
I'm trying to tell you that this era, the way these guys are now, they act like it's like it's something wrong with liking a joint, liking a joint, not just wanting to shag, but liking a joint. That's this era that we in right now, that their attention spans are too short, their relationships are too unstable. There is no place for R&B in this era.
And then they're not having sex. Like young men aren't getting laid. Like
yeah, man, these guys are fucking buying OnlyFans and shit.
Okay, when I hear, because what you're talking about here is known like música urbana, urban music, and there is three main subjects in that kind of music: is violence, drugs, and sex. Look, if you are a girl in your 20s and you want to hear about how you're gonna be grabbed by the pussy in the club, go ahead. Go ahead. But it's very weird when a middle class kid listen to guys about shooting each other in the face, on being fucked up in drugs. That's the question I want to ask is
poison.
These guys sells in the United States. This guy sells their music to a specific demographic, but maybe it's not that specific, because when I talking about, for example, a black man selling that kind of stories, I have to assume is selling to another black men that can relate to that music. But
Yeah.
maybe the demographics transcend the race barrier, for a lack of a better word.
But
So
Leo, can I spit some verse to you to see if you can relate to this? Who is this I see? It's like 3 on the AM. I'm gonna rob this thing. When I'm done, I'm a slave. In the middle class, and that doesn't resonate with me. I just like the music though, but like
Nah,
that's just
look, look,
crazy.
look, 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 look. It's how Julio said it. It's how Julio said it. That there was a time, especially in the 80s in New York, that I could remember, and the early 90s. It was that bad. It was that violent. So if you wrote a song about it, it is self-expression. It is art because you was talking about something real. Whereas somewhere along the lines, it became about expressing what's real and what's going on and selling gratuitous violence. Now you went from talking about violence to propagating violence, to selling violence. And that's where it's at. Like, yeah, now at this point, you want to put the record out where 10, 50 people get shot in the fucking face with the same book. You might as well be selling anime to these motherfuckers. The shit y'all be talking about. It's like an episode of Dragon Ball
But
Z.
no,
But
no, no. But think of
like no, what Jules is saying is right. Like back, like even like gangster rap when that first came around, like a lot of that was like narrative. Like they're literally telling stories and shit. Now like drill music, like that shit is just war music. Like it's literally just urban
But
like war
think about
hymns.
it like this. Think about it like this. Def Jam allowed DMX to come out with "Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood," and the first song off that album is "Bring Your Whole Crew." And the beginning of that song is, "I got blood on my hands because there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick because I fucked the courts. I'm a nasty nigga. When you pass me,
Bro,
nigga,
listen, I
look
know
me in
you
my
just
eye."
looking for an excuse to recite
Nah,
the
bro,
goddamn
that's some
verse.
wild ass
Listen,
shit. But think about it. That's wild,
motherfucker
bro.
about to do the whole 16 bars. Listen, I heard the
That's
song too. It's a
sick
great
as
song.
hell, bro.
What you not getting is in that era, I could tell you, it was different. It's different. I could see what they started doing that. You taking the violence and you focusing on the violence because that's what the kids seem to gravitate
Yeah.
towards the most.
Yeah, like
So
DMX, that was shock value, which is still part of like artistic expression. Like when Eminem like raps about like killing his mom and shit, like
yeah, that's shock value.
obviously he
That's
doesn't
shock
like
value.
literally mean it, but that's like that's part of the art. Like where he's trying to be as shocking as possible.
and then you'll get a guy that he'll take certain cues from that particular artist, and you'll get a lazier version of that material. And that's what's going on with rap, right? Like rap ain't music no more. It was to me. I grew up with it. It was music. That shit is not music no more, bro.
I mean, nowadays most of what we got is just
I just
mumble
wanna
rap and
rap.
shit.
Bro, well, it's not even the mumble rap, bro. It's like the drill music. Like they're not even like talking about anything. That shit is just a war hymn. Like
I
they're
mean, half
just like
half
talking
the
about
time I
like
can't
they're
even
snitching.
understand what
That
these
shit
people
is
be
just
saying, man.
that shit is just a drunk, a junkie going through an epileptic seizure. Is what I hear.
Like that's rap.
Like, what the fuck is this, bro?
I mean, literally, Future came out with a hook. It's like, understand the where my birds go, understand them birds go,
I
understand
can't
them
listen to
birds.
that shit no more, bro. I can't
Yo,
listen to that shit.
Yo, you know what Future's fucking hook was? I shit you not. One of Future's hook was what
Bro, he the
we
mumble rap
talking about?
pioneer, man. Everybody copying his ass now and shit.
That shit is terrible. Like at the end of the day, when we were kids, they were talking about something, and it was something real, and that's what makes it self-expression. That it's not they're not talking about some fake shit. It's some real shit they talking about. Now it's the industry took it over. I think who was it? Harry Belafonte or Sidney Poitier that said that shit. That when rap started, it was a whole panel of people, and he said the shit better than I could ever. They're like, yo, the music industry got into that shit, and they corrupted it. They completely corrupted it. That yeah, it was some shit and some shit, and some of it is party shit, and some of it is not. But
So, Jules, I gotta ask you this question. In regards to the message that guy was talking about, have you ever thought that Harry Belafonte is more articulate?
I mean, I think he is, but it's that he said it in one sentence. That's what makes it difficult. He said it in one sentence. It wasn't a long-winded comment. He said it in one sentence. And what I took away from it is that
He's
eventually
smarter than
the
you.
industry got in. Suck my dick. The industry got into it. And they corrupted this shit. And it's like, well, yeah, because that's what they do with everything. That's
Bro,
what they do with movies.
like the way rap started, like they're literally just meeting in parks and like kicking rhymes to each other,
Bro,
like experimenting.
look at what happened to superhero movies, right? The pinnacle of superhero movies has to have been Endgame, right? They outdid themselves. They set the bar so high. How could they top it, right? And you still getting B level material after that, C level material after that. You got Hawkeye running around here. I don't want to see Hawkeye without the Avengers now.
You get F level material right now.
Jules, did you know WandaVision is getting a spinoff? Like,
I ain't gonna front. WandaVision was good. But
but it was good. But like, I'm saying, but like, it's getting a you know that witch who was the villain.
No,
that she's getting a spinoff, bro.
The point, look, the point is right. The point is that they did something great with everything up until Endgame, but then they started just mass producing bullshit, trying to focus on the little things that people like. It's like, fam, like now it's not even about producing a good product. You just trying to produce a product, period. Like you just trying to mass produce. It's like, and the quality of the material is suffering for it because motherfuckers not feeling a lot of that shit they putting out. She-Hulk,
Right.
I don't want to watch that shit.
Oh my, She-Hulk was terrible. I didn't like it at all.
Let's be honest,
sorry.
right? There are those spin-offs that are ass, right? I agree wholeheartedly. But then there's good ones like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Like it depends on the vision of the producer. For like a lot of my issue with Disney is a corporate, right? So they just have to meet the freaking IOTAs. So with that in mind, like, yeah, we'll just do a spin-off for She-Hulk. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, who gives a shit? We'll do a spin-off for...
No, they're throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. That's what they're doing. They're throwing shit at the wall, hoping... Now, I gotta say, Across the Spider-Verse, that is a masterpiece. I did not expect to be so blown away by animated film. It was excellent. Like, I have no complaints. But a lot of the other shit... And so, look, like Loki wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Winter Soldier and Falcon, that wasn't bad neither, but it wasn't great. And that's how you end up feeling about most of what they putting out, because you just putting shit out to be putting shit out. You ain't worrying if it's good or bad or great. You just want to put shit out.
But let's be honest. So look, not all superheroes are made equal. It's like boxers. Let's be honest. No one gives a shit about Falcon. Let's keep it a buck. No one cares about the Falcon.
I disagree. No. Let me tell you why. Blade in the comics was never as popular as Spider-Man. Was never as popular as Wolverine and the X-Men. But that movie with Wesley, they did that. He was always a supplementary kind of character that, you want to put Spider-Man in a good fight, let's put him in there with Blade, you know what I mean? But he wasn't a guy that, he's a standalone guy, he popping like that. Nah, son. They put him in that movie.
Okay.
Ooh!
But Julius,
counterpoint.
The market wasn't oversaturated.
I was trying to get to that they're inundating the market with too much product, and it's suffering for it. You like focus on making a good movie instead of 10 all right movies. Just make one good movie, and that'll have the effect of the 10 all right movies.
But Julius, don't you think that all that? I get what you're saying, but I think it's just bad writing, because when I've been searching for this shit, because I'm interested. Why are so many shows failing? And when I see the writing and the people that are writing these shows, they're like, look, I've talked with a lot of more people than you guys, and I talk with people that they talk with maximum 10 people. Everyone thinks the exact same thing, and I have the echo chamber that amplifies that shit. for 1,000 times. So
I'll tell you what. Look, I'll tell you why. It's simple. It's simple. And I know you have some kind of art medium that you have, so you'll know. When something hits you, it hits you. These people are trying to force it. That's the difference. They're trying to force it.
Yeah.
You're trying to force a Falcon and Winter Soldier story. You're trying to force a Loki story. You're trying to force all this stuff. But when you're an artist, when something hits you, it hits you. And that's not all the time. Sometimes you get artist block. You don't know what the fuck to do. But when something hits you, it hits you. Now, I could see that Favreau, when he was doing Iron Man, the wheels was in motion. Because that's what set all of this shit in motion. Is Iron Man. That motherfucker doing his thing.
But here's the issue that comes, the kind of like, it's not even an issue, but it's kind of like a byproduct. They milked the fuck out of Iron Man. Because remember, after Iron Man, remember Iron Man 3, not a lot of people liked Iron Man 3. And actually, not a lot of people like Iron Man 2, if we're going to be 100%
That's true.
honest.
That's very true.
So let's be honest. Like Iron Man 1, yeah, that's a great movie. It's what kickstarted the cinematic universe. But like the whole trilogy as a whole, 2 out of the 3 movies were mediocre. But
I ain't talking about the last 2 because Favreau didn't do those, unless I'm mistaken. Favreau didn't do the second. But he didn't do the third one, right?
No, he didn't do the third one.
Right, now, the point that I'm making is, the dude, it's a difference between something hitting you, having inspiration, being inspired, and being forced to do something. This is why I say I know how to draw. And for years, my friends would ask me to draw tattoos for them, and I would tell them, no, I draw because I feel like it. I don't draw for money. I draw because I feel like it. And I draw whatever the fuck I feel like drawing. So if you tell me to do something, I'm not going to want to do it because it's not fun. You telling me to do it. Them movies, that's how them shits is. This music, that's how it, like, y'all motherfuckers don't care what y'all putting out. Y'all just putting shit out now to put shit out.
Yeah. I think it's just like, because when you think about Iron Man 2, right, because I've seen it quite a bit now, it seems to me it's like they kind of forced it because it's like they just kind of like rushed it to capitalize on the success of the first movie. Whereas the first movie, that was well planned out. That's why it was so good compared to the second.
But the first movie also, you got to say it's hard to top what they did in the first one. It was hard.
True.
So riding the wave of that is of course you're gonna do that. Anybody would do that. I don't think the second one was that bad. I just don't think it was great. Now the third one sucked. The point is, whenever the corporations, a big industry, make their way into something, they suck the soul out of the shit. They did it to yoga. They did it to karate. They're fucking doing it with rap. They've been doing it with rap. They took the soul out of the shit. That's what it is. That's what always
honestly,
happens.
like post Endgame, like the only honestly movie that I've really enjoyed is 2, and that's Spider-Man: No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's it.
Yeah,
everything else is subpar.
Whenever it becomes about mass production, you suck the soul out of the shit, man, and that's what happened to rap. Like, man, these motherfuckers ain't talking about nothing.
Same thing happens in restaurants too. When a restaurant starts off with a really great idea, especially whenever the owners, the people who are emotionally invested in it, once those people are now gone and it becomes just a kind of a corporate entity, you're correct. They just suck out anything fun about it. And it mass production destroys anything that's authentic about it. Music, same thing.
Well,
it's funny because we asked Jarrell to do freaking 4 months ago to do a ring entrance song because he was playing with beats and we were like, oh, that sounds good, Jay. Can you make, and it sounded amazing for his first time making a beat. I'm like, can you do something for Papa for his ring song? Dude, he wouldn't crank anything out. It was like there's this weird pressure around him. And then one day he was watching his dad's bar and then he just put on his headset and just started going. Like you can't really like have him sit down and be like, come on, you need to produce this. Like he's like, like it would turn out shitty.
A good example is like a lot of bands, they'll have, they'll struggle 4 or 5 years, live in poverty. Look at Guns N' Roses, for example. But when they're under contract and they're forced, by corporate heads to put out another album, so many people, Snoop Dogg, another example of people who are forced now to make this music, to make a living. It's no longer authentic. It becomes dog shit.
Look at what happened to Jewel. When Jewel was a bluegrass singer, she had some shit, man. Somebody put it in her head You know, because there was the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguilera and the Jessica Simpson. Jewel, the bluegrass singer with the guitar, she got the pop music. She sold her whole shit. Now you a pop star. And that fucking killed her fucking career. Because, yo, we don't listen to Jewel for fucking pop music. We got enough pop stars running around. Jewel was the bluegrass singer, the good bluegrass singer. You fucked it up. And it's like that with everything. Once the industry makes it about quotas and numbers, oh, you done sucked the soul out of the shit now. Really, any artist, they'll tell you of any medium, I don't care what it is. When some shit hits you, some shit hits you. But if you got somebody breathing down your neck to do some shit, nah, it ain't gonna hit you. Because it's not fun. The only way to get something to hit you is to get back to having fun. And it's not fun when it's about fucking quotas and shit like that. Like, that's not fun. That's work. That's work. Fuck that. On that note, my ass is getting a cramp. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, Julius.
Not all.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Would you going tomorrow? You going live tomorrow for